You will no doubt have a position on the Palestine question, as do I, and I wonder ever increasingly what drives people to so passionately and in so many instances violently force the issue by demonstrating with vehemence and vitriolic fervour on the streets of cities around the world. I must admit I do struggle to understand why seemingly intelligent individuals perform so enthusiastically in support of a known terrorist group, Hamas, and a religion so steeped in violence, suppression of citizens' rights, and medieval torture tactics. I cannot but help thinking that there's been some serious brainwashing or mind poisoning happening amongst certain groups in the Western world. Why would these individuals subject themselves to widespread derision and almost universal disrespect in their communities by their public displays of laughable misguidedness? One must ask oneself why all of the Arab and Islamic countries throughout the world don't protest similarly. It seems that only middle-class Westerners in Western countries are up in arms, sucked in by sophisticated propaganda fed by Hamas to the mainstream media. Outfits like the BBC in the UK, the ABC in Australia, CNN in the US, and all mainstream media in New Zealand take any news releases out of Gaza, and therefore from Hamas, as gospel. Are they stupid, gullible, naive, or simply have an ingrained hatred of the Jews which fuels their anti-Semitic agenda? Why are people continuing to protest Free Palestine? For goodness sake, it looks to me like they are protesting for the sake of it. They don't give a damn about the everyday Palestinians. They just want to align themselves with Islam, it seems. Why else would you fail to be up in arms and protesting about the wholesale slaughter of Iranians by their own murderous government? Why are they silent on the treatment of women by virtually all of these backward countries? Why not comment at all about young people being machine-gunned in the streets of Iran? You heartless bastards. I doubt that women in Gaza are being treated well by Hamas, and indeed by the local populace as well. Women's rights just don't figure in their minds. Please explain to me how this can be rationalized by feminists the world over as they participate in their hate-filled marches condemning Israel for attacking after Hamas and complicit Palestinians butchered so many Israelis on October the 7th. Why is that never mentioned? Why is it never mentioned that billions of dollars of aid funding has been siphoned off by Hamas and other regimes for their own personal benefit and to build up weapons and tunnels to progress their own intentions of eliminating Israel? You fools publicly bleat on about genocide in Gaza. You're merely declaring your ignorance. That is not and never has been a genocide. Israel always warned people to leave areas they intended attacking. Why? Because they were interested in targeting your terrorist mates, Hamas, and not the everyday populace. Hamas, of course, and we all know this deep down, even if you won't admit or accept it, uses civilians as human shields. You'd have to be a few bricks short of a pallet to believe otherwise. Oh, wait, Hamas told you otherwise, and you fell for it. Amazing. There are 2 million Arabs, and presumably most are Muslims, living in and working in Israel. In every field, from the professions to the trades, they are accepted without question. This is because Israel is a fair and reasonable place, unlike Gaza, where we know Jews are not accepted, gays are not tolerated, and women are subjugated in no uncertain terms. Don't fool yourself that it's otherwise. Open your eyes and your minds. Yes, it's true that most of us are influenced by what we see and hear, and more importantly, what we choose to believe. There's a lot of information coming at us and to us 24 hours a day. And once we show an interest in a subject or a point of view, the algorithms on social media are unrelenting in their bombardment of similar content. We can all be convinced of a particular point of view given time, and what hope is there if all we are exposed to is information espousing a tunnel vision view of a subject? I can understand people being upset about the deaths of innocent civilians, in particular children, and none of us feels comfortable about that. But when protesting, I do think you need to show the world at large that you're not too blinkered or narrow-minded as to be oblivious to other serious threats to human life. Iran, Sudan, Nigeria, etc. To remain silent about these injustices on a far greater scale than Gaza just shows the rest of us that you are driven by nothing more than a disgusting, despicable, appalling hatred of one relatively small ethnic group in the world, the Jewish people. It does seem to me that you would support a genocide in Israel. Are you that bloodthirsty? Or is it that you are so stupid that you know not what you do?